What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, Clemente Collector. And on today's episode, we're going to do an SGC return.
Batting third, playing right field, number 21, Roberto Clemente.
All right, so this is my 5-card SGC return from the National. My 2 biggest purchases are in here, and you guys haven't seen them on the channel yet. And you know, there were some delays because I guess I checked the wrong box with one of the cards. So they emailed me and we got everything sorted out. And as I always do, I am going to show you guys what I paid plus grading fees and give you guys an idea. Is it better off to buy graded already, or is it better off to buy ungraded and get them graded? I've done this 3 or 4 times now. I think a lot of people like it. And somebody would say, well, just keep the card ungraded. What's it matter? As you see, I do like my cards graded by SGC. So either I'm going to buy them graded already, or I'm going to buy them ungraded and get them graded. So either way, it's going to happen. So I love doing these experiments to give myself an idea if grading is worth it for me, or if it's better off me really looking for these cards already graded. So this should be a lot of fun. Once again, it's 5 Clemente cards, and a lot of them you don't see on grading reveals often. So I think it should be a lot of fun, and I'm excited. So let me get this open and let's get to it next. All right, so first up is the 1962 post-Canadian card. The cost is what I paid for it, plus, once again, the $15 for SGC, and then I add $2 onto each card for shipping back from SGC and to SGC. All right, so here's the back of it. And as you can see, it's got this residue here. I actually found out that this was on like all the Canadian Post serial cards from that year. I believe it's the glue that held the bag to the box. So I had one of these already, but it was all creased and wrinkled. So I found this one on eBay for a really good price. So as you can see here, it's got all the lines, the black lines around. So I really felt good about this possibly getting a number grade instead of an authentic. If it would have got authentic, still awesome looking card. I love it. It got the 2.5. So that's awesome. This is a really, really tough post serial card to get a grade on. There's not a lot out there. So I think the card looks amazing. So, all right, let's look at the numbers real quick. Okay, so we're actually off to a great start. The comp on this, $95. And when I can, I'll put it actually on the screen also to show you what I found on VCP. And that's plus $52 buying it ungraded and getting it graded. So just to let you know how scarce these are, there's only 83 graded by PSA right now and only 15 graded by SGC. So gives you an idea of how scarce they really are. All right, next up is the 1962 Topps stamps panel, and I paid $63 total for this. So there was a little bit of schmutz on the back. I think that might be the glue residue from the actual stamp, because the back peels off. And I was just really looking to just get a number grade on this as well. As you could tell, the top to bottom is off-centered and the left to right's off-centered. But hey, everything's there. I think it's a great looking stamp, and I'm excited to add it. And I got the 2. So I think with how off-centered it is, that's probably fair. I was hoping for probably a 3, but hey, it looks great, and I'm excited to add it to the showcase. So let's look at the numbers for that one. All right, so I didn't do great on that one. The comp's $40, and that would put me at negative $23 on that card, grading it myself. So, hey, 1 great, 1 not so great. So we got 3 left to go. All right, so next up is the 1963 peel off. This is actually the blank back version. I have the instruction back already graded. I believe that's in a 3 grade. So I paid $61 total for this. I believe I bought it on Greg Moore's. All right, here's the back of it. The back's really, really nice on this. And then the front, Here's the front. What do you guys think that's going to grade at? So you see that line across here? It's actually on all of them. I believe it's created because of the age and because of the separation between the two pieces on the back. So that's actually not like a factory issue. So I got the 4 on this, which is, I think, is really good for a peel off. I really think these 63 peel offs are really underrated. I think they're really, really cool, and it's nice that I have both versions now. So, all right, let's look at the numbers. All right, so I looked at the numbers, and I believe this would sell for about $79, which is positive $18. So, hey, I'll take it. What I also found out, which I kind of knew, is the blank back version, which is this, is about a third more rare than the instruction back, is what I've seen with other players in Clemente. So it's a lot harder to find the blank back if you're ever at a card show looking at those. Okay, last but not least are my 2 biggest cards I got at the National. Both cards ended up costing me over $600, including grading fees. The first one is actually a crossover. I crossed it over. It was in a PSA slab, and let me show you real quick the sheet. So total spent on this card is $604. Okay. All right. So here is. Let me show you the front first. Here it is. This is a big one for me. This is actually my favorite Clemente Venezuelan card. 1962 is one of the sets my dad had, and it's turning into my favorite 60s top set by far. When I saw this, I said, this is finally a 62 Veni I can afford, because this card is very, very expensive. And I found this for in a PSA 1. So I was able to, negotiate with the dealer and get a really, in my opinion, a fair price on it. What I really love about it is his face. It doesn't have any of the wrinkles or creases in it. For being a PSA 1, I think this is a cool card. And wait till you see this. Normally with Venezuelans, you're going to have paper loss on the back. If you have a 1, this back is, to me, it's amazing. It's great. And what I love about the 62 Venis is they wrote in Spanish on the backs, which is really, really cool too. But one thing I've been trying to do with my Venezuelan collection is I've been trying to get them all without paper loss on the back, which has been really hard, but it's what I prefer. So, all right, so this was a PSA 1, and it crossed to an SGC 1, which is exactly what I expected. I honestly, with the back and the front, I actually think it looks way better than the 1, but what do I know? I did when I submitted this, I did do minimum grade 1, because I didn't want them cracking it out and then giving it the authentic. That doesn't really make a lot of sense. So, what a great card though. That is one of my favorite cards in my collection now. All right, let's see how I did. Okay, I didn't do the best on this one. I got comp here, and I'll show it on the screen too. A PSA 1 sold for $537. So that's the comp we're gonna go off of. So I'm negative $67 on that card, but hey, once again, I'm fine with that. I got the copy that I thought I could afford and that I love. So, so far I'm pretty much even, it looks like. So it's going to come down to this last big card. All right, so the last card I got, and like I said, I bought this at the National, and it's my biggest purchase at this year's National, is the 1968 Plaques card. Total cost $641. And if you haven't seen the 68 Plaques checklist, you're in for a treat, because it's got some of the best Hall of Famers of the era on it. So let me show you this thing. Let's actually start on the back and then go to the front here. So here's the back of it. So look at that. You got Willie Mays and Pete Rose right there on the back. And also just look at the edges. It's a black card. So as you can see, this is a really, really nice copy. And then let me show you the front here. Here's the front. So how can you beat Hank Aaron and Roberto Clemente on the front of this thing? So you got, to me, the big three there. You got Hank Aaron, Clemente, and you got Mays. And then you got other guys like Cepeda, Don Drysdale, Ron Santo, you know, Richie Allen should be in the Hall of Fame. This is just a who's who of the best players at the time. Obviously, the only player missing is Mantle. But outside of that, you really have the best players of the decade on here. All right, so really, to be honest with you, all I was expecting was an authentic. And that's kind of how I priced it whenever I made an offer with the dealer. So the dealer wanted $700 for this ungraded. And it was funny because Ash actually had one ungraded also, and he was asking $900 for it. And I actually felt like this copy was better. So I went up to the dealer, negotiated with him, offered $600 cash. He came back at $650. I countered at $625. He accepted my deal at $625. So $625, I got this, and it did get the authentic evidence of trimming, which I did actually expect. So at the bottom here, the line is kind of crooked, and at the top here, the line is also. So let me put this on a stand real quick, and then I'll explain. All right, so basically the backstory I heard from different dealers and things like that is these were sold as a test, one card per pack. And once again, it was a test. So there weren't very many packs created. And then, I don't know, 5 to 6 years ago, a bunch of uncut sheets were discovered. And it drove the population up way more than, you know, what they were before, but it's still very, very scarce. I'll go over the pop count here in a second. But basically, the uncut sheets got cut, and PSA and SGC now have a lot of these graded as evidence of trimming. If you actually look at the sheets, and I'll show a picture of them on the screen, the sheets actually, the top edge and the bottom edge weren't straight. So I don't know if that was a cut by somebody before they sold the sheets, or if that's how the sheets came out. It's very, very weird. But at the end of the day, like I said, PSA and SGC feels that that these were hand cut at some point, and hey, that was fine with me. I kind of knew that going in, that it was probably going to get authentic. I just wanted to find one that looks like this one. Once again, look at this thing. Look at this thing. I'm very, very happy with this copy. It's one of my other favorite cards in my collection now. Definitely in my top 5 favorite cards I have now. All right, so I told you I'd tell you about the population count. SGC is graded 20 total. PSA is graded 84 total. So you're looking at 104 graded between the two companies, which to me, that's a hard card to come by in general. Plus, with my budget and things like that, also makes it hard to come by. But let me look at the numbers here and I'll come back to you. All right, just as I expected, we did really good on this card. Based on VCP, I feel that the value of this card is $800. So that's plus $159, which really helped me out here with this little experiment I did here with these 5 cards. So let me add up the total real quick. All right, so out of the 5 cards, ended up with plus $139. So I'll take it. That's extra money into the budget. But what I will tell anybody out there is this isn't foolproof. You have to you have to really be careful with what you buy. You really have to have a good eye, and you're going to have to take some L's every once in a while. I like to do a hybrid strategy of buying graded and ungraded. And then, you know, I kind of, you know, try my best to put in a buffer when I buy ungraded. I try to look at cards and I say to myself, what's the lowest possible grade this could get? And I cap myself at offering at that at that value. And that's why a lot of times when I do these experiments, I end up in the positive. So, but to each their own. Like I said, this is all for fun. These are all going in my collection. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're not, please subscribe to my channel. It's much appreciated. And put a comment down below of what your favorite card that I just graded was, and what you think about the reveal. All right, until next time, thanks everybody for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.